Hello, this is Winker Reviews, and today I'll be doing a video on Feel the Beat about a girl who wants to be a professional dancer on Broadway, but her own actions cause her to be blackballed from the industry. She ends up moving back to her hometown and lives with her dad. This is what happens when you aren't a decent human being. The lead character, April, is cold, selfish, and rude. Even before moving to New York City, we learned she was always like this until it finally backfired on her. The lead actress, Sophia Carson, I thought she was a great dancer until I found out that she used a stunt double instead, which doesn't make sense because she's a dancer in real life. And why wouldn't you want to do your own dance moves in a movie about dancing? That doesn't really make any sense to me. And as for her acting, I thought her performance was very wooden, very one note. She's supposed to be a rude person who's trying to get ahead by any means necessary, and that within itself should be interesting, but she manages to have no personality. Instead, she has caked on makeup the entire time. Even when she's just grocery shopping with her dad, she has pounds of makeup on with the same facial expression. No matter what her character is supposed to be feeling, she looks the same every single time. She's not a good actress, although I've never seen her in anything before. She's not terrible, but she has her moments, but she's very mediocre. She's like borderline. And I honestly don't really get how she even got an acting career. Now, moving on to the dance studio with the little girls, they have the worst dance teacher of all time. Parents were actually paying money to teach their kids how to dance, and these kids were moving like they had two left feet, like they couldn't stay on beat. They couldn't keep their balance. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. And I'm wondering, if I found out that the dance teacher wasn't teaching my kids a thing or two about basic dancing, I would demand my money back. This teacher was a freaking fraud. She didn't know what the hell she was doing. I cannot believe it took someone else half her age to come in and teach these kids basic dance moves. And I know for the sake of the movie, there had to be like a contrast between the beginning of the competition and then the finale of the movie to show that they improved. But the kids were inept when it came to dancing. And this leads to my next complaint. When the girls actually improve, I still thought their performances were lackluster. I was surprised at how mediocre the dancing was through this. I actually thought the other teams from other groups were better and more entertaining. The dancing was mediocre throughout, and I kept thinking, okay, the little girls, this is their progress, they're gonna get better, but that never actually happened. It was the finale at the end, and the moves they were doing were so lazy and boring and uninspired. The little boy in this group was the best one, and I still felt there were times when the girls were holding him back. I've seen little kid dance contests and cheerleading stuff in real life, and those kids were kicking ass and knew how to move and had personality, and none of that is shown here. And I'll admit, I'm not a huge dance fan, but I was ready to see some badass moves and hear some decent music and give the recycled plot a pass. It's a shame because the first two times we see April dance, I was a little hyped because it was good. And I was under the impression that she was going to teach her kids how to dance like her, but nope, never happened. And I wasn't expecting them to be like full on professional dancers within a few weeks, but I was expecting much, much better considering they were in a competition where some of the judges did work on Broadway. The movie itself is very predictable, which isn't a problem because anyone who's interested in watching this should already know that, and it should be fine. But I will give a spoiler alert. It would have been interesting to put a twist at the end, maybe have the lead character not return to the dance competition and the little girls finish the competition and win on their own and get success out of it. Meanwhile, April stars in her big Broadway play and still isn't happy within herself despite her own success, and maybe see a video online about how well the little girls are doing. And she smiles to herself because she's happy for them, and then end credits. But instead, it goes the usual route, and you see every single thing coming before it even happens. And during the end credits, they do the electric slide in the middle of the street. I don't even know what to say to that. It was really cringy. I give this like a 4.5 out of 10. It was exactly what I anticipated plot wise, but I was very dissatisfied with the dance.